The biggest challenge I think for myself growing up is basically experiencing the education system. For me, I'm not a traditional type of learner, so sitting in a classroom in rows and taking tests and working off worksheets didn't work for me. Most people may not know that I was born in Montreal. I lived there until I was about 14. For grade 7 and 8, went to a private French school and moved to Scarborough just before grade 9, and that was the best experience I could have had in my life. Met a lot of great friends from different places around the world, and has really had a great impact on me throughout my life. You know, I was the first one in my family to go to university, although the expectation was always there. Even though elementary school and high school were not conducive to my type of learning, we pushed through because we know that was the expectation. So the support of my parents, support of my family was always there. So I was very lucky in that regards. Favorite subject growing up in school was definitely mathematics. Math always made sense to me. The numbers just always seemed to fall into place. As much as I loved it, I became disenfranchised with it kind of inside of a classroom. Far too often in elementary school, teachers would ask me to stop answering questions, allow other people to do it. So instead of enriching my experiences, give me other rich tasks or open tasks to kind of work on and keep my mind going, more often than not, they asked me to just be quiet and sit in the corner. So, you know, after a number of years of doing that, I became bored and I basically just shut down. I stopped answering questions. I did math for myself, but gave very little back to my teachers in the classroom. Very often, basically from kind of grade 1 through as long as I can remember, the same comment would always show up on my report card. You know, David's very bright, he's very smart, but he doesn't apply himself. And it was difficult to apply myself in those types of settings because they weren't engaging to me, they weren't interesting to me. For me, sports and athletic kept me in school. I did not sit well in a classroom, I did not achieve and learn like the regular learner. I was very kinesthetic and I didn't get that feedback in class. So for me, the one thing that kept me in class until the end of the day was knowing that I had athletic ability and the ability to go and play sports after school and to make those connections with my teachers and my mentor. In high school, I had a couple of teachers that really had an influence on me, one more particular than all the rest. He was a mentor, he was a coach to me in wrestling and rugby as well, but he really saw the spark in me. He knew what I wanted to do, he knew that I wanted to be a teacher, and he really helped to keep me focused on what I wanted to do and what the end goal was. I vividly remember at the end of my grade 13 year when I won the Academics Athletics Award, him coming up to me and mentioning how proud he was of me and how he couldn't wait to have me working on staff, so he would save a seat for me at the staff meeting so that we could work together one day. He really had a huge impact on myself, my learning, and who I am today and where I am today. Without having that connection to the school and that engagement outside the classroom, I don't know that I'd be here where I am today. Without having those mentors and those teachers inspiring me to continue towards my dream and to keep working towards my goal, I don't believe I'd be here. One of the great ironies of education is the longer you stay in it, the more interesting it becomes. My best experiences in school were in high school, where I was allowed to get up and be active and engage myself within the classroom, but equally so outside of the classroom. I think the best schools work well because they're focused on academics and they're focused on rich and open tasks, but I think they also create a community where they engage students outside the class. Whether it's athletics, whether it's the arts and drama, whether it's just clubs, there's a sense of community with the school. The students know that the teachers are there for them, and then they excel and reach beyond their potential. I know that with my staff, when they engage students with their extracurriculars, they directly see a benefit to their students, and by getting to know their students outside of the classroom, they get to make those different connections and foster those deeper relationships, and those relationships transfer back into the classroom. When I speak to the students that come to my office, I can speak to them in a different way than I think other people can. I understand when they have difficulties in class because those are some of the difficulties that I have. I understand when they don't connect to what's going on in class because those are some of the same difficulties that I had. I understand when they don't learn the same way as people around them learn because those are some of the difficulties that I had. And hopefully when I have those conversations, they understand that it's coming from the heart and it's coming from a place of understanding, and that the advice that I give them hopefully rings a little bit truer because they know that I've walked down that path. I've often said to my kids and my parents and my teachers that sometimes the skills and the characteristics that don't make a child fit into the elementary school system, high school system, are very often those characteristics and those skill sets that will make them successful later on in life. I'm not one to sit still. I can't sit through meetings. I can't sit in my office. So physically I get up and I'm on the move all the time. I'm in the hallways, I'm in my kids' classrooms, I'm out on the yards and I'm making those connections with kids. So, you know, the detriment that may have gotten me in trouble in elementary school is that skills and that ability to kind of be up and be moving all the time that really helps me make connections with my kids and hopefully makes me a better leader in my school. My name is David Robson. I'm the principal at Dr. Ashley Phillips Public School, and this is my story.